So Bitcoin is pulling back 2.5% so far today, and that should come as no surprise. If you watched the last video, I warned you and I told you, okay, go back here. Meeting massive resistance at 48,200. That is the 200-day moving average, as well as the Bitcoin head and shoulders neckline. So two major strong resistance coinciding, aligning, and meeting together at the same point. That is 48,200 resistance. And so I'm not a greedy fuck. When we get to resistance, I take profit on my longs, and that keeps me profit. Okay, and so obviously we locked in and took profit at the exact top on our long, okay, after the pump. Now, last video, I've told you that I'm overall very bullish in the short term, despite my overall picture for the year being a drop down to 26K, which I still stand by until and unless we can get above, okay, the head and shoulders neckline, right? As long as we're below the head and shoulders neckline, the crash down to 26K is still the plan, right? But we're very close to invalidating my plan and invalidating my overall bear market view for the year, right? If we get above that red line, for the most part, with about 70% certainty, I doubt we would see 26K Bitcoin, okay? The problem is, once again, that was major resistance at 48,200. Not only did we hold, we resisted, and we are now dropping back down 2.5% today. Okay, remember, that resistance was major. Why? Because it wasn't just the head and shoulders neckline, it was the 200-day moving average. And so as it stands right now, the crash down to 26K is still not invalidated. That being said, all it takes is a quick little 4,000 point pump, and we're above resistance. And once again, there's still a slight probability that if we got above the neckline, okay, we could still crash down, okay? But the probability of that is significantly lower. Now, the only reason I'd say there's actually a chance that we could come above the neckline and then still crash down lower is because it could be a big bull trap that gets everyone super bullish here, right above resistance, right? So maybe it's above resistance for maybe a few days, a week, comes back down after, right? So for the most part, the long-term picture that I've boldly posted on my Twitter and have not taken down, right? Most people you watch, they would take this down, right? Since February 7th, I've had this tweet pinned, right? And I'm not afraid to be wrong, and that's why I put this out there. And, good luck finding another channel that's actually going to give you a real strong opinion like that, because they would never fucking do it. They don't have the balls to. So, obviously, my long-term view, I believe Bitcoin will bottom somewhere between 9K and 26K. Nothing certain. It's definitely not a popular opinion, but I'm confident. I don't do hot takes for attention. I do takes where I think I'm going to be right. You know I love being right, and you know I love bragging about it too. So the thing is, right, even though overall I think this year we will get down to 26K, it doesn't stop me from being bullish in the short term, right? And so why? Well, because I am a trader. And as a trader, I see a high probability, low risk reward opportunity that I'm able to take advantage of on the bull side. So let me explain to you how I can be bullish and bearish at the same time, right? But really what it comes down to is bullish in the short term from a trade perspective and bearish longer term, right, medium term from an overall perspective. So we have the range here in Bitcoin, okay, which obviously every time we got to 45,000, we sold off. Every time we got to 30-ish thousand, we bounced, right? So this range is super powerful because it makes for really incredible trades, right? You short near the top, you long near the bottom, you short near the top, you long near the bottom, you short near the top, you long, well, this time it didn't get to the bottom. So here, if you try to short there, that didn't work, right? And this is why we told everyone, okay, you don't have to short here, but you do need to take some profits here. If it goes sideways for a couple days, then reload the boat for a pump up, right? And that's exactly what we did. We took profit, then we reloaded for the pump and made $15,000. Why? Because Bitcoin went sideways for 2 days after pumping. The most bullish thing you can do after a pump is go sideways, right? Because typically, if it's bearish, you're going to see a pump and dump, right? But if it's bullish, you're going to see a pump and sideways, okay, which then leads to a continuation higher, right? So pump, dump, that's bearish. Pump, sideways, bullish. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So that's kind of what we did, right? We took our profits, then we repositioned, got in for the pump, and here we are meeting resistance. Now, also in this last video, guys, okay, In this video, I said, look, if I wasn't long right now, I'd be looking to short, right? But the thing is, it's kind of sometimes it's hard to make that switch where you go from bullish to bearish like instantly, especially after you just made $15,000. The last thing you want to do is make an abrupt decision and actually give up some of your profits. So basically, we just longed, we didn't short, even though I said that if I wasn't longing, I'd probably be shorting right now, right? It's just a hard thing mentally to go from longing to literally as soon as you close your long to short it, right? It's a little hard to do, especially when you're, a little scared of giving back some of your profits after a great day of trading. You don't want to do that, right? So a lot of things, at times I try to chill out, especially after a nice profit. You don't want to go back and give those gains back, right? So once again, we should have shorted this shit, but it's okay. And at this point, though, we did reject pretty nicely. And so it's obviously not what you want to see if you're a bull. That being said, it doesn't mean that we cannot actually catch the knife here and continue to push higher. Now, let me show you some hope that actually leads me to believe why we have a pretty good chance, and this is why I'm bullish short term, right? This is literally what it comes down to, why I'm bullish short term, despite the overall big picture to me being very bearish, and why I think we're still going to get down to 26K overall by the end of the year. Obviously, as long as we're below that neckline, right, that stance remains, and in a pin on my Twitter too, right? So let me show you why I think there's a good chance that we can continue higher here, right? So look at this. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row before we pulled back. Okay, when was the last time we saw that type of price action? Was right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles in a row before we pulled back. But really, we went sideways, right? Which, remember, what's the most bullish thing you can do after a pump is go sideways. Boom, into a continuation. Now, look when we came out the bottom at our 29K. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green candles in a row. Then look what we did. We pulled back sharply 4 days in a row. And it looked really ugly. It looked really bad. Okay? But guess what? They catch the knife and we continue higher, right? And so that is why I think, okay, remember, it doesn't happen often. You get 8 to 10 straight green candles in a row. We've seen it happen 2 times so far in the near past, right? Which is, okay, right here, and right here. And here, when it went on this crazy run, it pulled back and made everyone think that, holy shit, it's the end of the world again. But really, we ended up going much higher. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for right now, but I'm fully aware of the fact that my bearish long-term view can come in and overpower my short-term bullishness, right? So short-term, I'm bullish. Why? Look at the range, right? What I'm looking for right now is see this retest of the range right here? I'm looking to long here. Why? Because I can limit my risk, okay? Whereas if I short right here, it could bounce all the way back up, right? And then that's a lot of risk to be taking on as a short seller. Whereas if you're a buyer, you can take on pretty minimal risk, obviously, with stops in place, right? So let me walk you through this, right? Right here. Okay, let's say long at 45,200, which is my plan. The problem is we're not getting down there yet. They're buying the dip so far enough to the point where I'm unable to get my limit orders filled on the buy side, right? But basically, check this out, right? What I want to see is them catch the knife and hold support at the pre-existing range, right? Of how we just kept ping-ponging from top to bottom. So if we can hold support here, then that reinforces a bullish continuation, obviously, to be able to push higher. Right? And so this is why I'm bullish short term in the sense that from a trade perspective, I want to long support. I want to long the top of the range, okay, as we go back and test it. But I'm still fully aware that if this range doesn't hold, then guess what's happening? My long-term view that many think is incorrect has a much higher probability of coming true, right? People are laughing at me. People think I'm crazy. People think I'm stupid. I get so much shit for my prediction and thinking that Bitcoin's going to come down to 26K and lower this year. And you know what? I'm not wrong yet. I'm not wrong yet. And I stand confident, especially as long as we're below the neckline. Okay, if we get above that neckline, there's still a chance it's a bull trap. Then we come lower. But I'll have to objectively say, if we get above the neckline, I probably only have like a 30% chance of being right on 26K and lower Bitcoin, right? So that out of the way, that being said, okay, I'm still, despite being overall, I still think we're coming down to 26K by the end of the year. I am bullish in the short term, okay, because I want to buy the dip here where I can limit my risk. okay, and set up a beautiful long position, which I'll give you a great example of, right? So 45.4, let's say you long that right there, and you set a 2% stop loss, okay? Now, if you look at the upside, right, you have an incredible risk to reward on this setup here, where you have right here, was that an 8 or 6 reward ratio, right? So it's just a very favorable setup if you're a trader to look to buy the dip here, but understand that it can break down and then we can come back in this range. When we come back in this range, it's not looking good, right? That's not a good sign, okay? So that's what I'm doing. I'm still looking to buy the dip. I'm still very bullish in the short term until proven that this range can't hold, right? Unless that range breaks, okay, I'm still bullish, right? I stay bullish. When price is dumping off right now, this is when a lot of people get scared. But when people are scared, that's the best time to bite down on the mouthpiece and buy the dip, right? But you gotta have your set risk in place. So for example, you're taking on 2% risk to make over 12+% to the upside, right? It's calculated. Your risk is set and you're okay with losing, okay? If you're not okay with losing, then don't watch my videos, because every trade we take has the chance to lose. Whereas investing, you could argue, doesn't have a chance to lose, because with time, no matter what, prices should go up is what everyone thinks. So in investing, if you hold for the long term, you can't lose, okay? But here's the thing about trading, you can always lose. And that's the difference. That's what a lot of people don't realize on my channel who are just investors. They don't trade. That's what they don't understand. There's no shame in being wrong as a trader, okay? And that's how I can be bullish in the short term. I'm looking to buy the dip and long here, okay, with a set and capped risk, okay? But if we break down, then I understand, like, hey, that didn't work, okay? And I'm taking my loss, and then it is what it is, right? So guys, hopefully this analysis helps you out. Play the market objectively. Looking to buy the dip here, fully aware that things can fall apart there, and boom, you're not looking so good. That's why you got to cap your risk, okay? Because remember, if you don't cap your risk, right, if you try to buy the dip here and you don't cap your risk, you could see us back down to 26K Bitcoin, right? And I know people are going to laugh at me for that. People are going to say, you're fucking crazy. Get the fuck out of here, okay? And I know it sounds crazy. But once again, as long as we're below the head and shoulders neckline, then I'll continue to stand by my stance, okay? And once again, find someone else who will do that, right? Because here's the thing, I will admit when I think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong yet, right? Where do I think I have a good chance of being wrong is if we come above the neckline. Then I have a solid chance of being wrong, okay? About a 70% plus probability of being wrong if we can get above the neckline. That said, even then, I still have a chance to be right even if we came above the red line, neckline. Why? Because look, the bottom was at 33K so far. Okay, a bounce to here is only a 60% bounce. Guys, in bear markets, we see bounces up to 90%. Meaning we could come all the way up to 62K and still come down to 26K. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's very unlikely. But you got to realize, bear markets have massive bounces, and every bear market bounce, people think that the bear market is over, right? I am a broken record when I say this because, literally every bounce in 2018, you would have wished you sold the fucking bounce. Instead, you held the bag. And here you are repeating the same mistakes again in 2022. Right here, we get a big bounce, 95%. You should have sold into that bounce. Instead, you got greedy and you thought the bull runs back on. Here we get a massive bounce, 51%. Guess what? You wished you sold in that bounce, but you didn't because you let your emotions get the best of you. Every single bounce, you get too bullish, okay? And that's the difference, is you didn't exit, right? Me, I'm very bullish and I exited. You see that? I'm bullish, but I exited, right? And that is the difference, right? You're bullish and you hold the fucking bag. Me, I'm bullish and I take my profits at the fucking top at resistance, okay? It's a major difference, guys. So that's my analysis. That's my breakdown. I hope that's helpful for you guys. And that's why I am playing short-term bullish. That's why I'm looking to still buy the dip, because this is one pullback in this entire up move that we've called 12 days ago on the Bitcoin pump video and prediction. Okay, so let's summarize the 3 reasons I'm bullish on Bitcoin in the short term. Okay, reason number 1, right? We broke out at the top of the range and we're coming down here. Okay, we're close to it, using it potentially as support. That's reason number 1 why I'm bullish in the short term, right? From a trade perspective. Let's get into the next reason here. Okay, reason number 2 why I'm bullish on Bitcoin, I went over it earlier in this video, remember, is because we had a streak of 8 green candles. Now, the only time we've seen 8 green candles in a row was over here and over here. And you can see both times they did eventually end up going higher. Here was a scary shakeout where it looked really, really ugly, which reminds me of what we're seeing right now, right? This looks scary, it looks bad, and so to me, okay, you go back based off the facts, 8 straight green candles, 8 straight green candles, 8 straight green candles. Well, the last time we had all those green candles in a row, we continued higher. Right here, we continued higher. And so we have the 8 green candles. I think, hey, it's a good chance we can still continue higher, because that's what we've seen the last 2 times we had this many green candles in that big run where it gets everyone's very, very bullish, because last time it worked. Last time it continued higher. So that's reason number 2. Okay, and reason number 3 is simply because from a risk to reward perspective, I can enter in long, okay, and I can minimize my risk with great upside potential, right? If we can continue higher, right? So if I lose, I'm not losing much, and if I'm right, I'm making a lot, right? And that's what trading's all about, okay? But the problem is most people don't accept losing, and that's why they make horrible traders, right? So that's my short-term analysis. Those are my 3 reasons why I'm still bullish short-term, okay? But overall, when it comes to my big picture view, okay, I remain bearish. I still believe we can come down to 26K by the end of the year. And that, I've been saying this for a while, I know I don't say it every single day because I don't even make videos every day, okay? I don't make videos every day. See, so here you have my video. Why I think Bitcoin's going to 46K plus. My prediction, right? Seriousness, let's get into it, guys. I'm highly bullish here in the short term. If you haven't... See, highly bullish here in the short term. That's when Ethereum was at 2,958. What a call that was, guys. Highly bullish here in the short term. Bitcoin at 2,958, right? This was 12 days ago. Right here, 2,958. And what do you know, guys? I call it right here. Boom! Massive pump here in the short term, right? Bullish in the short term, highly bearish in the longer term picture. That is how I do what I do, guys. All right, and this is why they're so funny. I have constantly in my comments, I have people say this guy is always right, and then I also have a complete opposite viewers who are like, this guy is always wrong. It's because you're not paying attention. When we talk about this market, many times we're talking about it from a trade perspective, right? The long-term perspective has not changed, okay? And so we go bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish, and if you don't keep up with each and every video, then you're probably not going to fucking know, am I bullish or bearish at that moment in the short term, right? Because everyone focuses on the short-term price. No one's focused on the medium term, right? But that's my medium term, and this is my short term. Short term bullish, medium term, I still believe we can come down to 26K, all right? So it's important, if you're watching these videos and you want to leave your dumb comments of, this guy's always wrong. Dude, I'm the most right person in crypto, but you have to watch my videos on a timely manner. You can't be watching a video from like 4 weeks ago, and then be like, well, 4 weeks ago you said you were bearish. Look, now we just pumped, right? Because then that means you missed out on my video where I literally called why I think Bitcoin's going to 46K plus when Ethereum right here is at 2958, when Bitcoin is at 41K, okay? When we longed that pump in Bitcoin and made like $8,000 that day, right? See, so you got to keep up with the videos if you're going to comment on short-term price fluctuations, because short-term price fluctuations, nobody on this planet comes even close to matching me. Call it cocky, I'm just going off the facts. Watch all the fucking videos on this channel. You see me consistently right every time. But once again, if you're gonna incorrectly talk about the timelines and say, well, 4 weeks ago you said we're bearish, now we're pumping, dumbass. You gotta keep up on a timely manner. Okay, so to those comments, I just ignore it because you're clearly not keeping up with the channel. consistently and seeing all the breakdowns, and so that's your fault. Okay, to the people that really pay attention, you guys know we've literally had the best analysis, the best calls the entire year and last year. No one's come close, guys. All right, so if this is your first time watching this video, drop a like, make sure you subscribe. We trade both ways, long and short. Right now, my bias is to still be longing, okay? But overall, that's my view on the market. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. Make sure you are subscribed. If you want to follow me on Twitter for updates, then make sure you do so at CrashesClay69. Now, let's actually set up clear expectations as we wrap up this video so we can say, all right, if this happens, Alex, you were wrong. And if this happens, you were right, okay? So, short term, guys, I'm going to be wrong if buying the dip here is the wrong move. And if I lose money, if you see me lose money buying the dip here, then that means I'm wrong. Okay, if I make money buying the dip here, I am right, okay? That's it. Like, that's it. Short term, if I buy this dip and I make money, I'm right. You comment and you say, Alex, you're right. If I buy this dip and I lose money, you comment and you say, Alex, you were wrong, okay? But I hate when people say falsely you were wrong when you were actually right, right? Because, for example, let's go back to this right here, right? So 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, I go bullish. But you'll always have some guy who was watching your video 4 weeks ago who's like, you idiot, you were bearish. Look at us, we're pumping. And they missed this video 2 weeks ago, right? So I hate when that happens, is when someone watches a video 4 weeks ago and they didn't see the video 2 weeks ago. You fucking bum, okay? So yeah, I've made it very clear the expectations here. If I buy the dip and I lose money, I'm wrong. If I buy the dip and I make money, I'm right. And so everyone who's in my Telegram knows exactly what trades I'm taking, exactly how much profit I'm making, and exactly how much I'm losing. So if you want to know real time, like live, okay, whether I make money or lose money, join the crash alerts, because here's the thing, is we could end up dumping off and I could still make money. Why? Because I may long, and I may just get in for a quick scalp on the long side, right? So we may bounce here at support and take my profits and I exit. Let's say I make like $4,000 and then it dumps off lower. Are you going to say I'm wrong? I would say I'm right. Why? Because I fucking made money. And making money is the only thing that matters. That's what determines if you're right or not. Did you make money? Okay. So join the crash alerts if you want to trade this market live with us in real time, okay? And know whether I'm longing or shorting, okay? It's all going to be here. So click the link down below this video to join the crash alerts, live alerts, exactly my entries, my stop loss, and all that, okay? And I'll see you in there. All right, so you'll see soon whether I make money longing this dip or not. I'm sure if it dumps off, you know, we're going to see. We're going to see, okay? All that matters is whether I make money or not, and you're going to see whether I make money or not soon, whether you're in the crash alerts or if you're on the YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel only, you're going to see late, okay? If you're in the crash alerts, you're going to see live if I make money or not, right? So, guys, let's rock and roll. I hope you enjoyed this analysis and video. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Until then, bye.